Airport security nightmares, dun dun dun. Alright, let's start with the obvious prohibited items. You'd be surprised how many people try to sneak a Swiss Army knife in their carry-on thinking they're MacGyver or something. Spoiler alert, you're not. Sharp objects, anything that looks like a weapon. Leave it at home, folks. And don't even get me started on explosives. Fireworks? Bad idea. Next up, liquids. We all know the 311 rule, but some people like to push their luck. Stick to travel-sized toiletries, and for crying out loud, make sure your shampoo isn't in a container bigger than a shot glass. And lastly, let's talk about lithium batteries. These things are like tiny firecrackers just waiting to explode. Make sure your power banks and electronics are within the airline's limits. Okay, the 311 rule, it's like the holy grail of airport security, yet some people still act like it's written in ancient Sanskrit. You can bring liquids, gels, and aerosols in containers no larger than 3.4 ounces. These magical little containers must all fit into a single quart-sized clear plastic bag. Think of it like a tiny suitcase for your toiletries. Just be prepared to show them to security. Don't try to sneak in a giant bottle of sunscreen or a gallon of mayonnaise. Let's talk fashion, or rather airport fashion. Now I'm all for expressing yourself, but wearing a metal-studded leather jacket to the airport is like wearing a sign that says, "Please screen me twice." Stick to simple, comfy clothes that won't set off every alarm in a 5-mile radius. And shoes, oh boy, shoes. We've all been stuck behind that person who takes forever to unlace their 12-eyelet combat boots. Do yourself and everyone else a favor and wear slip-on shoes. And while you're at it, ditch the excessive jewelry and oversized belt buckles. Remember, the less you have to remove, the faster you get through security. Avoid clothing with offensive or suggestive messages. Chapter 4. Suspicious behavior, don't be that guy or gal. Now I'm not saying you have to do a song and dance to prove you're innocent, but acting like you're smuggling the Hope Diamond in your underwear is probably not the best look. Avoid shifty eyes, nervous twitches, and constantly looking over your shoulder. And for Pete's sake, don't try to sneak into the pre-check line. Those people paid extra for the privilege of not taking off their shoes. Just be cool, calm, and collected. Remember, airport security is like a poker game. Don't let them see you sweat. Chapter 5. Electronic devices. Your phone is not your third arm. We live in a digital age, I get it. But for a few minutes while you're going through security, try to pretend like your phone isn't surgically attached to your hand. Chapter 6. Passport and visa issues. Don't leave home without them, and make sure they're valid. Your passport and visa are your golden tickets to international travel. Treat them like the precious documents they are. Make sure your passport is up to date, and double-check that you have the correct visa for your destination. One little typo can mean the difference between a relaxing vacation and a bureaucratic nightmare. Chapter 7, Duty-free shopping. Don't let your souvenir become a headache. Duty-free shopping, the siren song of the airport. But before you go on a spending spree, listen up. Those giant bottles of booze might seem like a good deal, but make sure they comply with your airline's carry-on restrictions. And speaking of liquids, remember the 311 rule applies to duty-free purchases too. Jokes about bombs, just don't. Seriously, I know, I'm the king of jokes. But let me tell you, airport security is not the place to try out your new stand-up routine. Jokes about bombs, weapons, or terrorism are about as funny as a root canal. Security personnel are trained to take these things seriously, and even a harmless joke can land you in hot water. Chapter 9. Overpacking. Your carry-on is not a clown car. We've all been there, staring at our overflowing suitcase, trying to cram in just one more pair of shoes. But before you turn your carry-on into a game of Tetris, listen up. Overpacking can lead to delays, extra baggage fees, and a whole lot of stress. Do yourself a favor and pack light. Remember, you can always buy toiletries and other essentials at your destination. Chapter 10. Local airport rules, don't assume they're all the same. Just when you thought you had airport security all figured out, here's a curveball. Security procedures can vary from country to country. What flies in the US might get you flagged in Dubai. So before you jet off to your destination, do your homework. Check the local airport's website for specific rules and regulations. Don't get caught off guard. A little preparation goes a long way. You made it! Now go enjoy your trip. So there you have it, folks, my top tips for avoiding airport security nightmares. Remember, a little preparation goes a long way. Pack smart, dress smart, and don't be afraid to channel your inner secret agent when you're navigating the security line. Safe travels and